are in for the losers finals. Both players having this double TSD ready, but GYAN building up on top of that TSD, on top of that fractal rather. And even finding a combo down stack all the way down, but TIKI is still alive. Barely. And as I said that, he got topped out, but still, almost found their way out there. GYAN bagging the first round. TIKI finding a few mini spins there. Having to break their surge early on TIKI's side, but GYAN misdropping their... not misdropping, misholding their piece rather. Or she couldn't build that STSD. A 1-to-1. There's barely any lead between these two players. Still, TIKI finding this, all of this really interesting all spins, and GYAN's just building this up using the cannon route. A few SZ spins into TSDs. Still getting pushed all the way up by TIKI's attacks here. Still finding a way out on GYAN's side. Although not for long. It's too much attack from TIKI. Really fast all spins lead to a bunch of really fast surge as well. Now GYAN having this TSD tower, and TIKI is just timing it, trying to make sure they didn't overstack. Instead, getting more garbage. Unfortunately, overcommitting slightly. That eyepiece went to their ceiling there. Back to tie. GYAN building up this fractal into another TSD. What is he going for it? No. Instead, going for a mini into another TSD rather. GYAN dishing a few wall spin in before trying to downstack. Getting that 180. But TIKI finding this really quick downstack. The Z spin into the TSD and into an I spin. GYAN caught up really high on their board, having to break their surge, trying to defend, finding a way out, but TIKI is in a really good spot. Downstack from TIKI is nothing short of really high damage. Now breaking their surge, even finding a way into their well, and now GYAN's the one getting cheesed up. Still, TIKI's trying to make sure the pressure kept on going. Trying to time their attacks here, since GYAN is all the way down their board. So, TIKI keeping up this damage. Sneaking a few spins in there before downstacking. The good well from TIKI's side was able to like set a defense, a really quick defense for them. But GYAN's keeping up this pressure. Their combo downstack are all really dangerous. If not cheese, it's otherwise really clean. And GYAN trying to keep the pressure up. TIKI finding this T-spin right on top of their board, finding a combo cancel there. Now GYAN is in a bit of an awkward spot, still finding a way out into their well. Now back to even. TIKI finding this really immaculate setups. And misdropping their ZPs there, but still didn't hinder their setups and instead build up onto it. GYAN finding this fractal, getting it out, trying to pressure TIKI, but both players are low on their board. Evenly cancelling out each other, but TIKI unsure what they're going for there. That's really, really interesting, say. Managed to cancel the attacks from GYAN as well. We're hitting margin time here, and neither player giving in. And instead just getting more intense as time goes on. GYAN getting another fractal, seeing it a lot from GYAN here. Fortunately caught up. Couldn't find a way out. Taking the lead. For that margin time round, most players being slightly cautious with their back-to-backs here. As they say that GYAN breaking it immediately, perhaps finding a proper timing there, but fortunately TIKI got their way out really quickly. And even got a counter pressure afterward. Going all the way up to 1 APP there, TIKI's side. GYAN misdropping a few pieces. Fortunately couldn't find a much cleaner way out. And TIKI leveraging that misdrops, just took it really quickly. Now TIKI's the one misdropping. GYAN trying to leverage it as well. Fortunately not in time, as now TIKI find a way out. GYAN misdropping their eyepiece. Misdropping another piece. Fortunately couldn't find a decent pressure on top of their board. TIKI is going with this 9-0 into a donation. Fortunately misdropping their JPs there. Now GYAN's the one with the pressure. Finding a really quick TSD into another TSD there, but wasn't enough to top out TIKI, not yet. Still, GYAN finding all these setups, trying to pressure TIKI, but now TIKI holding back the pressure. The garbage, fortunately, was too much for GYAN there. Wherein both players going for a similar opener, but GYAN going with a different route. And TIKI getting that donation. GYAN down stacking immediately, finding that J-Tuck. Trying to continue building their pressure into STSD. Prophecy STSD, but TIKI finding this really high pressure, building up their back-to-back, breaking it at 29. No, 20 plus, but still was over 20. GYAN still survived. Wasn't enough to top him out just yet. No, TIKI trying to keep up, but overstacking slightly on their board. And GYAN managed to catch them off guard. TIKI opening with a Janba TSD. into freestyles. Jian going for that STSD, breaking their surge while going for it. But Tiki was ready. Little bit of lag there, but still. Oh, Tiki fighting that TSD kick. He assumed TSD, but getting pressured by Jian, but it was counter pressure. Tiki managed to find a way out just in time and even managed to counter the pressure coming from Jian. Jian going for this. I assume it is a MS2, but Tiki is fast, trying to keep up with it as well. Even finding a Prophecy TSD. Sneaking in a little bit of all spin there. And the well spawn in at the exact spot they needed it to be. Getting a quad there, Tiki's side. Now Jian's on the deficit. Trying to keep up with this pressure coming from Tiki. Albeit not sending anything yet, but as I said it, now Jian's getting pushed up. Tiki's finding all sorts of spin, trying to top Jian out. And Jian still holding on, trying to make sure they didn't overcommit, being cautious high up on their board there. Finding a way out yet again. And Tiki's with a fractal already into another TSD, now going back into LST. Bailing out though, trying to keep up with the all spin, but fortunately getting pressured by Jian there. Jian finding the counter pressure, bagging the round. Getting quite a long round here from both players. Quite a few long rounds. Still, Jian finding this all spins before breaking them. And Tiki having to use their surge to cancel. Getting pushed up otherwise, but still Jian didn't have any counter pressure yet. Not counter, post pressure. Tiki instead down stacking all the way down to their board. Jian not having any form of defense, not yet. Misdropping their JPs there, I assume. But still, no, it was just a Prophecy TSD setup. And Tiki's side as well, getting that C-spin, but unfortunately couldn't get the TSD out. And Jian finding a PC, immediately trying to get the post pressure after that PC. Mid game all clear. Despite that PC, now Jian's the one getting pushed up, getting pressured. There's just too much deficit here. All Jian can do is just receive at this point. Gonna be too much coming from Tiki here. But Jian's still trying to build up their own back-to-back. And Jian have a cancel ready. Still, Tiki refuses to break it. Going all the way up to 35, 36, 7. Breaking it at 40. Going all the way to 58. Spike. This is unlivable. That's just too much. That's 2 board height, 2 board attack. Nearly 3 board. Still, GYAN is still trying to keep up, still trying to find their momentum back into this set. And managed to force Tiki to break their back-to-back there, and were unfortunately caught up in a really bad spot. Finding the quad out, but still, Tiki finds a better position. GYAN finding the downstack just in time. Keeping up with Tiki's pressure. And Tiki misdropping a few pieces. Was forced to not only break their surge but go into defensive. And getting pushed up really high on their board. And GYAN's pressure was just too much for them. Now Tiki's going really fast. Building up the surge here into STSD. Into a floating. Into another STSD. But GYAN trying to prepare a surge of their own. Trying to make sure they have a cancel ready. Tiki forced to break it. GYAN had a fractal ready. Not only that, it was cancelled even before the fractal. But again, Tiki misspinning that T-piece, but alas, it was enough to top out GYAN. 9-5. GYAN getting this TSD tower. Tiki just timing their garbage there. Just trying to make sure they receive some before cancelling everything. And cancelling some they did and receive some they did. Tiki finding a kill there. GYAN misdropping their eyepiece on top of their board. Or mispinning rather. Not match point. GYAN finding this down stack, but still getting this really high up on their board. GYAN have a trying to build up their own surge. Fortunately having to receive a lot of that, and that's gonna do it. Fortunately Tiki receiving that surge rather than cancelling it.